Hello, chillins. Welcome to Storytime with Varden. My name is Varden M. Frias, and we are going to have a couple of things to talk about today. Let me check and see who's on the Facebook stream again. Just letting y'all know if you are on Facebook, the Facebook stream is going to be uploaded to YouTube today at some later point. If you do not want your comments on here, just please let me know. I just say that every time. Some people have okayed it, which is cool. If that's the case, you don't have to say anything. But just to let everybody know, not the Instagram people, because the Instagram recording does not go up on YouTube because it's on my phone and I can't. Well, technically I can, but that'd be the same exact. It'd be two videos of the same exact thing. That's not really necessary. So, hello, Mary. Mary is here. Awesome. Thank you for coming in today. That is awesome. I appreciate it. I also have to bring up the Facebook thing and make sure that it's like all okay. So, um, and I just want to shout out, hey Chris, American Chris, hello, over on the Facebook, not the Instagram. Instagram doesn't have anybody yet today, not yet. But yeah, we got some good news in the world of my authoring. So basically, y'all know that I've been sending out submissions like crazy recently, and I finally got picked up by somebody. Bewildering Stories. It's an indie publisher, very small publisher, but they publish a lot of different things, mostly like weird stuff, like the Doll Limb Bouquet company. They did that one for me, so it's published. It's out there in the world. I don't know when the exact publication date is going to be, but it's going to be somewhere down the line within the next couple of months that it's going to be published. I think a little bit further than that. So I got comments on here. Christopher, awesome. Thank you so much, Mary. Yeah, I am definitely very stoked about that. I found that out a couple days ago. I just wanted to let everyone know on the live, just get everybody up to date at the same time, everybody on the same page. So I'm very excited about that because it's been a while since I've actually been published. I mean, I've published stuff, but that's self-publishing. I mean, it's still publishing, but it's also like it's cooler and it feels more of an accomplishment when a publishing company publishes your stuff. So I feel a lot better about that. So saying hello, Mary. Awesome. I got this cup on sale. Oh, someone on Instagram. Hello, Kusi's Oddities Collectibles. Hello, how are you doing this Sunday? I got this goth juice, very appropriate for my streams. I got it on sale a couple weeks ago, and I've completely in love with this cup. It is my new favorite cup, so it's great. I got a thank you, Chris. Yeah, I am very excited about the whole being published again. This has given me the confidence to move forward and kind of just set higher standards for myself. I do want to get published with someone who actually pays me, which is my next kind of like order of business that I wanted to talk about. Thank you. I love this cup so much. It's got a matte finish too. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's like really nice. Hey, stop that. Sorry, my cat was scratching himself for no reason. So. But yeah, I really like how the sense of humor in this cup it's my vibe right there. Goth juice with an orange right there, an orange. Yeah, I love this cup. So I forgot to show the people on Instagram my cup. Yeah. If you've been watching my Instagram stories on Storytime with Varden, you've probably seen this cup several times. All of my Instagram stories are basically me just drinking coffee, and I need to like make sure there's a little bit more variety in there. Nothing wrong with that, but we need variety in our life. So yeah, I love this cup a lot. I got that from Killstar. I got the other cup from Killstar. I've gotten a lot of stuff from Killstar lately. I got this shirt recently. Well, not recently. It was like I want to say like a month ago. They had a huge sale going on, and these are really high quality shirts. And I got it for like $10, and I'm just like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get super nice clothes for cheap. They have a lot of sales on there, which is really nice. I really appreciate getting basically luxury items for the price of things that you could get at Marshalls. And Marshalls exists still, right? Maybe I should say Ross. Does Ross still those places? You know what? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, Halloween is coming. Cheers. Who is this? I need to see who this is. Commenting. Oh, hi, Paul. Oh man, it's been so long since I've talked to you. How you doing? Awesome. Yes, Halloween is coming. I'm super excited this year. Paul, I'm going to Salem, Massachusetts this year. I'm going to visit Christopher Monso. He's also in the comments. We're going to Halloween it up. It's going to be amazing. I am really excited for that trip. I haven't been to Salem since 2015. Salem is like a mecca for me. At least the last time I went, it was awesome. Everybody there, you would love it, Paul. People in there, everyone when I was there was in costumes of all kinds. There was just so many people. It was one of the best times of my life. It was amazing. So I'm definitely looking forward. Yes, Paul. Yeah, oh God. I just trying to remember. Oh man, I haven't seen you in 2 years. That's crazy. I need to go back to California and visit you. Um, but yeah, that's oh God. I remember like I can't believe how far like long ago it was that I went to Salem, but it was really cool. I remember this one thing that keeps on popping up in my memories is that these just giant wicker Ouija planchettes that they put down. I really hope that they're still there so I can take another picture. These things were huge, Paul. Like they were like I took a picture on my old Instagram and I still have it. I can share it with you later. There's a woman standing. She was taking a picture as well, but there's like she was this small and like the planchette was like this big. It was huge. So that's always that's the one thing that I just want to see again. I don't know. I like the little things that I spot on my vacations because they're like it's really cool. You know, like those little like things that you don't see every day. I just really like that. So yes, I want to Salem, Massachusetts this year for October. So for Halloween. So I'm gonna be there like 2 weeks. It's gonna be great. Also, yo, Paul, my cousin, he is as much into Halloween as I am, perhaps even more. Oh, yeah. I got a couple of cousins who are into Halloween like me. It's pretty awesome. So, what was I? Oh, speaking of, if you're still on, Paul, we're gonna be digging into this today. The Jack o' Lantern Tarot. I feel like you would really appreciate this tarot deck. It is very cool. I need to get a Day of the Dead one as well. I would love having both of those guys. Excuse me, losing my voice. Yeah, that's what we're going through today. My good news. It is the best holiday, objectively so. Like actually, when you talk to people like who really enjoy Halloween, there's not just like obviously it's a really cool celebration of the dead and cool things like that, honoring your ancestors, stuff like that. But there's also like if you notice the way that it's celebrated, you are basically doing like strengthening your community by having kids come up to your door and giving them candy, and your kids, if you have any, they're getting candy. So, and everyone gets to dress up in a cool costume. There's no like awkward dinner conversations. And there's always like a Halloween party. Halloween parties just hit different to me. They're just like a lot more fun than Christmas parties or like Thanksgiving parties don't really exist. That's just my opinion though. So yeah, today we are going to look at the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. I got this. I opened it last week in front of my live studio audience, and we are going to take a look at the Major Arcana. which for those of you who don't know is the the non-suits of the tarot card. I'm looking for the thing, and I'm like, oh, it's right here in the front. Nobody celebrates Halloween who doesn't want to, so every celebration is great. Exactly. So many people are forced into Christmas whether they like it or not. Yes, exactly. Everyone who celebrates Halloween is because they love Halloween. It is a happy holiday. So. Also, Halloween movies. I was thinking about that recently. I got Shudder again, which is a horror thriller streaming service. It's really cool if you don't have it. But I noticed that like they put out certain stuff, especially for Halloween. I am not a Christmas person, Mary says. I'm a little iffy on Christmas. I celebrate it to like maintain my bonds with certain people. I personally don't like, I don't hate Christmas. I don't really like it that much. I do kind of like the spirit of Christmas, like the positive spirit of Christmas, and I like Krampus as well. This is a whole other thing. But I do like the whole like gift giving and things like that. I remember a couple Christmases ago, actually. Well, not a couple. This is probably at least 6 years ago when I was actually able to afford, like, I can afford them now again. But like when my siblings were much younger, I always got them something each year, and it was really nice. Yeah, I kind of miss doing that. I haven't seen them for Christmas in a while. Well, ding dong, merrily on high, I did Christmas. I like the Christmas traditions, kind of like the there's something that Chris did last year actually that was really cool. Um, I got all the major arcana ready, so just a little side note. Oh God, last year was an interesting Christmas for me. I've never spent Christmas completely alone before. And it was good and bad. Like not bad necessarily. I would say that it was strange because I'm used to having like a huge family to celebrate with, and our family we did it on Zoom. Actually, we did it on Facebook video chat, which was like my little sis, my younger sister orchestrated that, and I helped her. Um, she was going to do it on Zoom, but we realized there was only like 40 minutes or something, so all right, I'm back to work for Chris. All right, thank you so much, Chris, for stopping by. Always a pleasure having you here. So, but yeah, last year I was just kind of like, I watched The Secret of Nim. I made myself a really big dinner, which is also kind of weird. Like, I don't think I'll do that again. Like, it fed me for a long time, but it just doesn't feel the same when you're eating that kind of food just by yourself. It just feels awkward, and you're just like, why did I make a giant feast for just me? It's just weird. I come from a huge family, though. That's probably why. We're just like, we're one of those families where during the holidays we cook so much food, and it just lasts forever. And that's kind of what I was used to. But now I'm just like, all right. Um, but yeah, it's a. I think I'll be celebrating Christmas differently when I'm alone. I probably will celebrate it. I'm assuming how everybody else who doesn't celebrate Christmas, probably just doing something else on my own. But yeah, usually I'm with my family, and again, it's a pretty basic Christmas celebration. You just get people gift giving, stuff like that. We don't. They did a turkey. That's usually what they do. It's a long conversation about Christmas. I can go all day talking about holidays, but today, this is what we're talking about here. We're talking about the major arcana of the Jack-o'-lantern tarot set. So basically, I'm going to go through it the way that I did before, with the last one with the way over there, the Deviant Moon Tarot. That was my last deck that I showed y'all. This one, I'm just going to be going through one by one, and I'm probably just going to get through as many as will happen within the next 45 minutes or so. So All right, so we start with the Fool. The Fool is always the first one. Again, that is 0. I really like this. There's also a dog, and it'll explain to me what these little symbols mean. I kind of went through this. I am doing this fresh, clean with y'all, so this is new to me as much as new to you. So it's very exciting. We've got this little booklet that'll explain to me in detail what these things mean. So I have a general idea, but every card just kind of has like its own interpretation of these cards, which is cool. So, and also the people on there's no one on Instagram. Oh man, my stories and my posts do better. My reels and my stories do better on Instagram, honestly. But so okay, the Fool. Excuse me. Look out below, or don't. Youthful exuberance and joy lead your heart forward without much foresight, without the jack-o'-lantern's light to guide you, and plenty of fallen trees and autumn brambles at your feet that might trip you up. But there is a certain innocence and naivete to this journey through life, and at times we stumble forward, blissfully ignorant. Throw caution to the wind, and step forward anyway, if the spirit moves you. We are all called to run free and play as children in the grand scheme. Trick or treat. Okay, I love this explanation of this card. This is the spirit of Halloween right here. This card. I love it. Go out and trick or treat, y'all. Trick or treat every day. Just go to random people's houses and demand candy. Oh, man. Okay, now next up, we got the Magician, which is card number 1. It goes from 0 to, I believe, 22 in the Major Arcana. Now, the Major Arcana typically focuses on the bigger life situations. And the Minor Arcana is like the little details in your life and stuff like that. So the Magician, inside of you, there is a fire of wisdom and knowing, with the great subconscious, the great source, the deep and dark ocean of our core, seldom speak to our outer world. Acknowledge the patterns. Seek the deeper wisdom that is inside of you, your higher self, and the greater being. The higher power that lives within and speaks to us all. Halloween is a time for magic, and you are the most magical of all. I really like these explanations. Whoever wrote these really put their heart and soul into it. I love it. And it's great art. Yeah, I think my last deck was like spooky and sad, and this one's more optimistic and bright and fun. I like it. So next up, we got number 2, the High Priestess. Shaky cam. Yeah, I can stare at these cards all day. What mysteries of the universe are left to be revealed to us? Distant and austere upon a throne in hallowed halls, seemingly untouchable and unobtainable. But what is this? Do we hold the scroll of all secrets and keys of our existence in our very hands? Perhaps the answers are not so far after all. Look within, and you will find the presence of every unknown and every mystery. The mighty priestess waits for you, with a smiling jack-o'-lantern by her side. Very cool. Oh, looks like Chris is here. Hello. Let me do a little checkup, see who's on. Just making sure this is the person I'm thinking about and not another person. Okay, that's who it is. All right, cool. Hello, Chris. All right, next we got the Empress. Did I just do that? Whoa. Okay, I'm fine. So the Empress. It's a little tricky getting it on both cameras, but you know, I'm doing the magic here, so it's funny because the two angles make one of them is a glare and the other one's fine. So I'm prioritizing y'all on Facebook because y'all are actually here. So I have a feeling my Instagram lives aren't very successful. So, anyways, happy time. So the Empress, luxury and bounty. I like that. Fertility and harmony. Beauty and all the good things of life are yours to enjoy. For even during the autumn and winter months, these trees stay evergreen, lush, and ripe with life. That is so true. Drink deeply of the flowing water in abundance that is all around you. Take flight on your magical broom, then park it and put up your feet. Put your feet up on the jack-o'-lantern. That's okay. That's why she's got it. Okay, cool. Bountiful bliss and nature's kiss. The goddess smiles upon you. So this is the rich card. I like this card now. Yeah, ever since I got that job, I'm a little bit more in tune with my materialistic side, which is not usually me. But yeah, it's a new version of me that I'm growing into, which is very interesting. So try not to be shallow though. Trying to balance my spiritual side and my materialistic side. That is the goal of this whole endeavor that is my life. So okay, we got next the Emperor. Very cool. Okay, so the Emperor, oh, he's different. Okay, there is much work to be done, and it will take a climber, a real pumpkin carver, a focused and intense sense of leadership and boundless energy to move forward through this epic journey of life. The Emperor calls you on a quest to use your energy to your highest ability and pursue your vision with focus and laser like intensity. There is endless universal energy available to you in your every breath of life and beyond. Channel your source and get the job done once and for all. All right, this card is calling you to sit your butt down and work. I kind of like this card. You know, there's always cards like this, and it says it in a very positive way. Like there's certain cards that say like you need to um yeah, you need to work. That's what it's saying, but it's saying it in a very positive way, which I really like. It's making it exciting. It's making it an adventure instead of a drudgery, which I really appreciate. So yeah, good card. All right, one of my favorites from the other deck, but let's see what this has to say about the Hierophant. Um, the other deck said that it was a connection to the divine inspiration, things like that. Let's see what this one says. The Hierophant. Seek counsel, find your teacher, find your guidance, and let the world be your classroom. There are entities much higher and much wiser, ready to give counsel and present us with blessings. Ask and you shall receive. Gain the wisdom of the universe. Seek humbly and with grace in the mind of a student, of a servant, of a child. Now is not the time to teach. Now is the time to learn. Wisdom is everywhere, waiting for you to allow it in your heart. Absorb and observe with arms outstretched and palms open. Open to new information. Awesome. I like this. This is a little different from the other card. The other card is more like, well, this is connection to the source, which is what the other one was talking about. So generally speaking, it's the same, but I do like this interpretation. Again, much more mystical and playful. The other deck is, again, the reason why there's different decks is for like, there's different phase, at least for me, is different phases of your life or different needs that you have or different ways that you need to receive the information, which I really like. So, okay, this one, we all know this one. So this is the Lovers. This is the card for 6. Sorry, that is backwards. Cupid appears, bringing the magical spell that inspires connection and ultimately manifestation in the earthly plane. Summer flirts with fall and ultimately becomes her. But in the cosmic play of it all, beware of illusion. For Cupid can be deceitful, and choices must be made. At times, it is hard to discern what is real and what is illusionary. There is much more than the game of love, but the game of life where the world is but a stage, and we play our part with our hearts open. Learning the lessons, moving forward, the choice is yours. That's an interesting interpretation. Hello, Dark Recess Press. Welcome to my live stream. We are discussing I almost forgot the name of this, the Jack-o'-lantern tarot deck. We're going through the Major Arcana. So let you all on Instagram know. Cool. And Mary says something. Any advice on how to choose a tarot deck, especially your first one? That is a good question, actually. So my story, and it's different for everybody, but this is my experience, is that you just kind of know. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, but it is actually, for me, it rang true because there was a deck that I wanted to get, and it's the last one. It's the first one that I got. The Deviant Moon Tarot deck, and I just kind of knew that I needed to have it. Specifically that, and again, it was at a time when I wasn't really buying stuff a lot as well. So like me having the itch to buy something over and over again for several years kind of told me something was more important. And then I ended up just getting it, just being like, okay, like I'll stop that now. But it was also like when I was actually like holding the deck and using it and reading the little booklet that came along with it. That's when it started to even like the art that's on there is a really, oh yes, agreed. Dark Regions Press, thank you. But yeah, once you kind of like, it's one of those intuitive things. You just kind of know. At least for me, I know there's some people who go through like the I can't remember what it's the deck that I keep on mentioning. It's the Terra Waite deck. Rider Waite, there we go. The Rider Waite deck is the one that like pretty much most people start out on. I didn't feel much of a connection to that one. I don't know why. I just felt like the Deviant Moon Tarot deck, for whatever reason, I mean, it was the art that stood out to me the most, just kind of like the style of the art, the vibe that the art was giving off towards me. It was like I felt like it was a message that I need to listen to pretty much. And I still do. I mean, I still use that tarot deck pretty much every day. It's just like it works. That's kind of like the basis of like why I do it. But the Rider Waite tarot deck, if you're like interested in like learning tarot or something, I hear that deck is very simple and that it is it's good for beginners, like if you're like getting into it. I don't know why I was drawn to the Deviant Moon Tarot. Disclaimer, I jump into things sometimes without doing the basic stuff, so keep that in mind. It's not that I'm super advanced or anything, it's just I just be like, oh, I'm going to do the hard thing right now. The Deviant Moon Tarot deck is it's a difficult deck. I learned that kind of firsthand because when I was looking at the Rider Waite, I was just like, this is a little bit easier to read. But I got used to the Deviant Moon Tarot deck to the point where it was like the Rider Waite was kind of weird to me. So like they're all different, and there's always like some sort of what's it called? The illustrations are important to look at. Just like if you look at those things, the symbolism. There we go. Symbolism is very important in tarot. Thanks. That does make sense. Yes. Yeah, tarot is very intuitive, generally speaking. Like it's good to look at the picture for a while and kind of like feel like, okay, well, how does this make me feel? What are the thoughts that this is making me thinking? Because what it's doing is that it's stimulating, like it's a stimuli, right? It's stimulating, your intuition needs stimuli. Not the source knowledge. Well, it's going to give you the source knowledge, but the stimuli kind of like gives you a little trigger, and it says like, oh, this is what this thing means. Flippy hands. Okay, we're good. So yeah, that is a very long-winded explanation for that question. Thank you for the question, Mary. That is an excellent question. Also, questions are encouraged for everyone. So if you have any questions or any comments while I take a sippy break, those are very welcome. So, also, Dark Recess Express, thank you very much for commenting on the Instagram feed. I don't get too many comments on Instagram during these live streams, so I appreciate that very much. I'm drinking my goth juice. Did I tell you guys what I'm drinking today? I think I kind of skipped over that. If I did not, I am drinking coffee with pumpkin spice creamer. It is very tasty. I'm getting in the mood for the pumpkin spice season. So, all right, where are we at? I think Dark Recesses press left. Maybe they're busy. I don't know. Cool. I enjoyed that interaction. All right. Look at the camera. All right, so we got the chariot next for you all on Facebook. Eventually, I will learn how to properly show these things off to people. So, where's the chariot at? Okay, so mighty warrior, grand champion, great conqueror, move forward and pursue your wildest dreams. You have the strength of youth and the intense energy of forward motion. You are strong. You are protected with the gilded armor of your highest power. Press onward in your spiritual battle. It is already won. Now charge forward in a flash of light and speed as you go after your heart's dreams. There is victory in whatever you will pursue. The chariot calls you. That's really nice. I like that. Yeah, it's a lot more optimistic than the other deck. The other deck was a little bit not pessimistic per se, but it was just a little harsh. And again, there are some things that, like, excuse me, that I was interpreting as harsh, or that I just needed a more stern hand at the time. I would say this is a more playful voice. I like it though. Playful, mystical. This is strength. Got a cool hat. It's not talking about what the symbolism here means, but I can actually look into it and think about it, what it means, which is really cool. So, okay, strength. What is true strength? Is it brute force, or is it something more? Quiet your mind and straighten your back. Listen to what your heart tells you about what it means to be strong. Perhaps you need not be the lion, roaring and raging all the time. Perhaps you need to be instead the one who soothes the rage and fury of youth, choosing instead to pursue wisdom, healing, and the creative energies of the goddess. There is strength in quieting the mind to pursue the path of silence and peace, and the daunting yet silent struggle of the tree as she navigates the seasons. There is strength in grace and gentleness. A strength beyond measure is yours indeed, peacemaker. Find peace in your heart. That's a very interesting interpretation of this card. I never really thought about it that way. It's true, though. Strength is not always a roaring lion. Sometimes strength is an anchor. So, very cool. All right, we get to my card. This is my card. I think it'll be my card forever. Every time I draw this card, I there's all the feels associated with it. No matter what the deck, either I'm just like, this is my card. Anyway, the Hermit. Who knows the way? Who knows the truth? Is it the world that buzzes and races about back and forth, always going around in circles in the blazing heat of the day? Or in the darkness, does the quiet lights of the moon and stars instead light the way? The hermit chooses to pursue their own path, far away from the tenets of society, in harmony with a path overgrown and forgotten, lit only by starlight. Now is the time to find your own way, at peace with yourself, with only the light of the stars to lead you. You know what is best for you. You know the way. Seek and find, your journey has just begun. That is a very pleasant version of the Hermit. All of these are very pleasant and nice, and they're very calming and That's the cool thing about this deck is that it's very gentle. Not necessarily gentle, just kind of like more playful and more nice. The other ones, um, it's got a little bit of a bite. The other one, I like it. I like both decks, but this one is a little bit lighter, lighthearted. That's nice though. I kind of like that the Hermit. Like, not a lot of people understand like like the true meaning of the Hermit card. At least from what I've seen, I feel like people are like, oh, like the Hermit card, you're lonely, you're alone, you're isolated. But it's also a journey into your mind and finding, like, figuring things out for yourself, basically, what your ideas of certain things are. At least that's like my journey with the Hermit card. I almost said Hermit crab. Yeah, the Hermit card is, yeah, that's, I always need something to say about that card. So. Okay, so this is the wheel. Very interesting, very different card. The Wheel of Fortune, it just says the wheel on here. This is on 2 different pages, so I'm just going to flip it seamlessly. Oh, the wisdom and joy to be gained by the spinning tail of the universe. As the sun rotates in the galaxy, the earth around the sun, the moon around the earth, so on, so forth, in the endless wheel of time, in all creation. And all this movement of moments of time and space, where is the truth? Life will deal her hand. Challenges and the highs and lows will present themselves as we spin on this great wheel at dizzying speeds. Do you want to know the trick? Find the center of it all, like a flower, like the exact center of the blossom that brings forth the pumpkins of the autumn season. Stay in the center amid the highs and lows and constant fluctuations. In a world of constant change, some things stay the same. That's a very interesting interpretation. I feel like the interpretation from the DD Moon tarot deck is more about a little bit like luck. Like you're spinning the wheel, like the wheel of fortune. You know, like you're spinning the wheel and you get what you get. This one is kind of like being the center of that wheel, which is very different. I'm gonna have to look deeper into this card because it's a very interesting interpretation. All right, justice. Not my will, but thine be done. Justice will be served. The balance will always be served in the end. For this is the universal law. And sometimes that balance, that universal truth, is so hard for our egos to grasp and accept. In times of trial, when things seem so unfair, remember the balance and the sacred laws in the universe, which leads us to our spiritual evolution and highest light. It is out of our hands, but there is something much greater at play. Trust in the process. Trust that things will be okay. Things will balance themselves out, I think. I think that's what that means. All right, the Hanged Man. I want to make my own tarot deck because there is I do have issues with the gendered language. I think that, like, I understand that there is the divine masculine and feminine. For me, that's a little. For me personally, it's a little outdated. I would prefer different terms. I would prefer something like light and dark, things like that, because that's basically what it means. Passive, aggressive, like opposites, basically. It's just 2 different sides of the same spectrum. The gendered part of it doesn't really make sense to me personally. For a lot of people, it does, but for me, it's just like, I could take it or leave it. But the hanged man, the hanged person. Sometimes life presents us with limitations and situations that are trying and hindering. Our hands are tied. Our feet are tied. And our whole world is upside down as we struggle and try and shift and pull and push and eventually just release. Trying is lying. And there are situations in this life that our ego, our conscious mind, is unable to control. Let go and let God. That's an interesting phrase. We have more to gain and more enlightenment to earn by releasing ourselves to the larger pattern at play in the universe. Allow your heart to shine bright like a jack-o'-lantern on a cold night in this process. Follow the path of least resistance and search for wisdom, which is the ultimate victory. The Hanged Man is usually the other one. The other deck discussed it as unable to. Hey Chris on Instagram, unable to move past a certain like kind of like life passing you by, not being able to like. The other one seems more like a choice a little bit. This one is like things are outside of your control, which is very interesting. Mary says, that would be so cool for you to make a tarot deck with your art. I have been wanting to make a tarot deck for a really long time. It's a process, and I think it'd be really cool if I could get one done. I also have cardstock paper, which is really cool. So, Chris is still working, but hiding my phone. Just be like this at work. I'm not doing anything. What y'all doing that work? Oh yeah. My voice is it's starting to die, but we're not done yet. So, okay, so everybody's favorite card, Death. I really like that they put a Grim Reaper on this one. That's very fitting to me. I like it a lot. So, Death for the people on Facebook and YouTube in the near future. So. Life is a cycle of constant change, death and rebirth, and new crops, new situations, new sunrises springing from the old, the decay, and what is past. Develop a sense of peace with this eternal cycle and truth as you make your way through the rhythms of life, journeying along the constant wave of transition, death, and renewal. Some perceive this card as the end, but it is truly only the beginning. That is exactly what this card means. I love that they put that in there. The world is a circle for good reason, and what is lost will be found again in the sunrise on the horizon. Embrace the change. In tarot, death is change. It is the ending of something, but it is always about change. I like it. It is the end of something and the beginning of something new. This is like one of the best cards that you could get in some cases. Unless it's like literal death, then that's actually sad. But other than that, oh, I already addressed that comment. Cool. So much multitasking. Let me just take a little breather. Y'all know that I work on, well, not all of you, but you guys know I work on the phone. Surprisingly, I don't talk that much. There are certain people that just talk a lot, and I get a lot of those people sometimes. Going a full hour of talking, I love, but my throat doesn't like it yet. It's still getting used to it, so bear with me, please. All right, we got Temperance. And that cloud right there is just really cool. I like that cloud. Where's the one with the lobster on it? I want to see that card again. That was cool. I couldn't stop thinking about that lobster. Temperance. There comes a time to transfer from one vessel into the next, to shift the balance of our existence and our emotions into new receptacles and new ways of being. Fortunately, we are protected in this process by the angels in our lives, who are constantly speaking to us. We need only listen to and honor the presence of their careful hands, guiding our transitions every step of the way. Go with the flow. Explore new ways of existence. Explore a new you. The angels are guiding you to your new home and new destiny. Have faith. You are protected. That's a very interesting interpretation of this card because the other one talked about temperance, how like, how do I describe it without actually saying temperance? Like control, like controlling your desires and stuff like that. This one is saying like not necessarily not controlling, but it's just kind of like going with what you like. I will have to look at that again. So, all right, the devil. I always like saying it like that. Here is the devil with a very large head. So, what controls you in this life? Do you feel limited, stuck, and perhaps in chains because of a certain person or situation that ultimately seems to lead you down the path of ruin? Perhaps you feel like you are nowhere at all, stuck in one space, enduring burning heat with seemingly no escape. That was a weird sound. Anyway, my house is not haunted at all. The devil's grasp tries to hold you back with an explosive fury, hell bent on your limitation. Now is the time to make your escape. Shake off the chains and run free through the smoke and ash, finding a new day. Take time to analyze what is holding you back from your highest self. Remove any and all obstacles to your freedom. Liberate, break free, move on. The time is now. That's a good card. I like that. It's a very happy deck. I like it. All right, we got a few more. Let me see how many more we got. 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 more left. We got this. Yeah, I think there's like 22 in the Major Arcana. All right, everybody's other favorite card, the Tower. I really like how they made this one so dramatic looking. So, the Tower. And just when everything seemed to be solid and fortified and protected, boom! A bolt of lightning comes from the sky and tears you down from everything you knew. It can seem scary and terrifying to take that leap of faith and fall. But when the universe wants to bring you down off of that tower, as painful as the transition may seem, see it as a leap of faith. Change will come, and it will come without warning. You can make the decision today to turn that free fall into a fantastical flight. Release your fears and open your heart to what the universe has to say. Kaboom. That was a very, I like how they wrote all those big boomy words in there. Because it's like an earthquake. I see the tower as like an earthquake or some like huge thing that changes. It's like a paradigm shift in your life. Things change. Like it's it's a very crazy card. A lot of people don't like it. For me, it depends on what that big thing is. The devil card seems like my card at the moment. Yeah, the devil is a it's kind of a sad card when you think about it. The other like deck kind of came on it with a more like addiction kind of a lens looking at it. This one is more like, well, I mean, any kind of thing like that. It's things that are holding you back, things that are trapping you, and usually cyclical in nature. It's usually kind of like when I pull that card, at least it's just like, oh, like it's a little depressing, but you're just like, okay, I can use this information to become aware of whatever's chaining me up, and I can do what I can to get out of those chains if possible. So. Okay, we are on the Star. The Star is a very interesting card. I'm not going to point out the obvious. Hopefully, Facebook doesn't care what's on this card. Y'all know. Oh man, Facebook. Okay, the darkness has descended upon you in the season of autumn, when all is in perpetual twilight and cold, the best time of the year. That would be perfect for me, by the way. Just twilight all the time. I love that. Just then, the light of the star and the light of the jack-o'-lantern emerge to bring forth hope and a healing. It is always darkest before dawn. A light will shine to guide your way. There are larger forces at work, offering you the healing water and light that you need to press onward. Help from above. Let the light shine brightly and lead you to new manifestations of healing. So this interpretation is different from the other one. They're both very positive interpretations, but the other one is like connecting with other people. Unless that's the sun. That might be this. Never mind. That's probably the sun. Okay, yeah, it is the sun. Never mind. Scratch that. Um, I like this. It's really nice. It's a really good card. I mean, oh, here's the lobster. There he is. We found him again. There's the lobster. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this lobster. This is the moon. The moon is a very interesting card. The road ahead is treacherous, and so much is unseen. The lobster, though. So there are hidden enemies and obstacles. Only time will tell as you make this journey, guided only by the shifting and mysterious shadows of the moon. Press forward in your quest with your senses heightened, like a wolf under the full Halloween moon. You are stronger than you know. With a deep understanding of your subconscious mind, you will flourish and make it through the night. Howling at the moon is optional but encouraged. Oh, I know Chris's first thought with that is I'm not going to say it though. If Chris is still on Instagram, I'm not going to sing that song. That song is now in my head though. So the other one, I know I keep on comparing it to the Deviant Moon, but it's kind of nice to see the differences. I noticed the moon with the other one discussed illusion, trickery, mind control, brainwashing things, kind of more sinister interpretation of that card. Either way you look at it, reversed or upright. Um, again, that's just kind of like that's just the differences in these decks. It's just really like cool to think about because this one's more like okay, there are things that are dangerous, but it's not like it is the danger. Like there's like hope in these cards. I mean, the other one wasn't hopeless necessarily. It's just like it tells it how it is. It's very straightforward, and this one's a little bit more like how would I say that? I don't know, just more like a positive kind of like interpretation. It's also I noticed a lot closer to the Rider Waite interpretation with certain things. Certain things are popping out to me that are very similar to the Rider Waite deck. This is also, I mean, it is a lot like it. The way that it looks, the way that it reads, the imagery that's being used is very Rider Waite esque. So it makes sense. It checks out. Okay, here's the sun that I was speaking of earlier. Let's see if it's the same interpretation. So, rejoice in the light of a new day as the fall sunflowers rise to greet you and your mighty steed awaits. Joy is yours and the trial is over. You have conquered and now you must enjoy only the warmth and delight of the harvest in a beautiful autumn day. Ride high with happiness. Feast on the harvest with joy and dancing. For this is the card of pure joy and jubilation. Bask in the glow of the bright autumn sun. So this one is similar to the other one. The only difference is that the other deck is more about human connection, connecting with people, just kind of like being one with other people, which is really nice. So that's pretty cool. The sun. Okay, two more, y'all. Okay, so now we got judgment. What you thought had been laid to rest was what was laying just underneath the surface and had been buried and memorialized and was assumed to be dead and gone suddenly rises up from the ground. You're not out of the woods yet. The cover is blown, the trumpets ring forth, and all will be revealed. What has been in darkness shall be brought to light. Revelations. When the judgment card is present in a reading, it is time to open yourself to the larger role of divine forces who uncover all that was perceived to be lost and bring it forth into the light of truth. Resurrection, rejuvenation, Armageddon, the time has come, full circle, pay your bills. No, so this is where everything's come to like things are being revealed, which is very interesting. I don't remember the last one, the other interpretation of this card. I want to say it the same. Yeah, I think it's the same as that. So the end times. A lot of biblical references in this as well, which I have conflicted feelings about. We'll discuss that later, though. Okay, last card, the world. Dance, O you mighty manifestation of the divine universe at play in human form. Revel in the beauty of all of life in our journey as human beings. Now is the time to dance to the rhythm of the great cycle of life, adorned with laurels and surrounded by angelic beings. Now is the time when life springs forth eternally in amazing and incredible cycles, renewed and restored. Raise your glass, victory is yours. So, this is the end of the Major Arcana. Very interesting that it ends on that note because, that is basically the hero's journey. Kind of like you're going from like the fool who doesn't know anything, who's like kind of like naive, and then you're going to you learned your lesson. And again, with each, like if you go through the whole thing, it's going to be a different lesson each time if you keep on doing that, which is really interesting. So, all right, that is the end of the Major Arcana. Do I got any questions? Do I got any comments? I was going to plug my stuff today, but I just decided that I want that to be more organic, not just showing it in people's faces. I was going to have a discussion about those things, but for the time being, I'll save it for later. But yeah, I just feel like I want to relax on all the plugging. I've been plugging quite a bit recently. I do have, besides the publication of my work, which is awesome, I have other good news. I'm growing a lot more on TikTok and on Instagram. Again, still figuring stuff out. And as y'all know, the algorithm is going to change constantly. So I'm going to be constantly learning how to adapt to this ever-changing river that is the algorithm, which I'm just doing that anyway. So, I'm like, nothing really new, nothing too bad. So I'm really happy with the all the progress I've made this year. It's been a rough year, off and on, just kind of like just stuff with like career-wise, but also like personal life-wise. It's been a crazy year, and I can feel the air is shifting. Quite literally, it feels like fall is on its way here and summer's dying finally. So I'm looking forward to the stuff that I have in store for fall, especially October. I think it's going to be a great end of the year. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I got for y'all. Okay, on Instagram, I'm going to turn it off. So thank you, everybody, for coming to Instagram. Thank you for commenting. I'll see you next time. That's Instagram and video. So, and I really need to make sure that I choose a cover that doesn't look dumb, because I did that last time and I really did not like it, and it didn't change for me. So bear with me. I could do this later, I suppose, but like now, cool. There. So that's done. Okay, I shared it. I did the thing. I can take it off now. All right, cool. All right, Facebook. Mary says, thanks for the show today. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Mary, for commenting and asking the questions. I love the questions. I love the interactions. That's a big part of why I do these streams. I could make a video, but the interaction makes it great for me. Gives me something to bounce off of. So I really appreciate that. So, all right, y'all, you have a great Sunday. You have a great week, and I will see you next week, because this is becoming a lot more normal now. So, all right, everybody, bye-bye.